Are we excited today? We're standing for a cause, aren't we? Well, let us sound excited. Let the world know that we're saying no to SOGI. Are you saying no to SOGI? Let the world know that we're saying no to SOGI. No to SOGI. No to SOGI. No to SOGI. Thank you. I just want to thank Carrie, the team at Culture Guard, the team at Parent United Canada, Youth for Canada, all the donors, sponsors, and supporters of this rally. You know, it is not easy to take on the giants, the Goliaths of the land. And we have seen in Culture Guard, Parent United, Youth for Canada, and Carrie, strength, resilience to take on the mighty Goliath, SOGI. I stand here this morning on behalf of the Redeemed Christian Church of God here in BC. And we would want to highlight our support for the work being done by Culture Guard and Parent United in this fight against SOGI 123. You know, out there, once you speak against a particular belief system, once you disagree with a narrative, then they say you are hate speecher. You're hate speech. You promote hate. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not promoting hate. What we're doing is we're voicing our opinion. We are exercising our right to freedom of expression. Gathering today, we are encouraging and promoting freedom of expression and freedom of speech. I have a right to say no to SOGI. Parents, you have a right to say no to SOGI. And all of us here today have that right, and we should exercise that right. I speak on behalf of my church, and I want to say to you, we are not in support of SOGI agenda. We believe that it is an evil and immoral agenda, and it speaks against the plans of God, the natural plans of God for us as human beings. It contradicts God's plan as it relates to gender, identity, and sexuality. Our disagreement with SOGI 123 is not an attack on any individual. It's not an attack on any group. You know, we are here standing and we're saying this agenda, this program that is being introduced to our children, it's wrong. Any program, anything that is being introduced to our children contrary to what our own morals as families, our own morals and views of as a church should be discussed with us. Let us have a say in it. After all, Canada is a democratic country. I am from the Caribbean, and they call the Caribbean the third world. And when they refer to certain things, certain actions, they say you expect those in third world countries or underdeveloped countries. Now, Canada is a developed country, and it's a democratic state, and democracy must rule. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you this morning that you must take a stand. You must take a stand for what is right. You must take a stand for what you believe in. Don't be cowed by the noise. Don't be cowed by the shouting. Don't be intimidated by the alarmists, because we have God on our side. The SOGI program that is being implemented in our school is causing much confusion to our children. And those of you parents who have children, especially in the elementary school, and you discuss with them the things that they are learning in school, it is mind-boggling. It is shocking. Just last night, when they were, I saw on the news when they were reporting about the rollback in Ontario. The station was highlighting what the current sex education program is about. Can you imagine? At grade 6, they're teaching your kids about masturbation. Shame! 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 The values that we have taught our children at home and in the church is being eroded. And it is being contradicted. Now, can you imagine your children being taught certain moral values in your home, and they go to school and they're taught something contrary to your own family system? Is that right? No. Is that right? No. Well, parents, if you think that is not right, then we need to stand up. We need to speak up. We need to speak out against these ills in our society. If this is allowed to continue, we run the risk that Christian morals and values, which are being taught in our churches and in our homes, will no longer stand, because children usually believe what teacher tells them. You know, I am a teacher. I used to be a teacher back home. And I have 3 children. One of them, when they came here and they were going to class, coming home, and I said, "Don't do it this way." You know what they said to me? "Daddy, this is how teacher said it is to be done." I am a teacher. But teacher has so much influence on our kids. So the things that they teach our children must be things that are aligned to our own values and belief system. This program is dangerous, and we better know it. They're telling our children not to talk to us about the things they discuss in SOGI class. Is that right? The moment you hear that, it's red flag. It's a red flag. Because if any adult is going to have conversation with my child about their sexuality, about their identity, and I can't be made aware of such discussion, then something is wrong. Parents, shame on this administration. Shame on the school board. We need to speak out. Parents, we have a right to know. Hashtag. We have a right to know. And we have a right to have a say in what is being taught to our children. We need to send this message, as the previous speaker says, to our elected officials. Elections are coming up. School board trustees. We need, you know, one of the things about school, the name trustee, is that you are placed in trust to take care of the little ones. Since the trustees are taking sides, you're taking sides to a minority group. You're taking side against parents. You're taking side against our children. This must stop. Parents, we're calling on you. We're calling on you to take a stand, because indeed this must stop. May I ask you a question today? Are we comfortable with the idea of a male student using the same washroom as your daughters? Are you comfortable with a female using the same washroom or change room as your sons? This cannot be right. Right now there is a case in the US with some government official, and there are some players who said, "Oh, we were abused in the bathroom because these are the activities that used to take place there." Now, if you know what happened in change room, people go in there, and because everybody is of the same gender, same sex, there is freedom. So people don't necessarily wrap themselves up. People will come out bare as they dare. Because what? All females, all males. Just think about it. When someone else from the other sex is allowed to come into that space, it must stop. Ladies and gentlemen, it must stop. I call on you, every one of us here today, to take this very seriously and to act now. Don't wait on the others. There's a job that everybody must do. If nobody does it, then it won't be done. We must do what each of us need to do. For every occurrence that takes place with the SOGI agenda that they get away with, that we keep quiet, the promoters of SOGI, the promoters of LGBTQ get emboldened and more powerful. We cannot allow that. They're more on our side than on their side. And you'd better believe that. They are more on our side than on their side. But we have become too passive. We have become too complacent. We have become too relaxed. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, we need to rise up. We need to take a stand. We need to move forward. Let us get involved. A change must take place. Change is possible. Change is possible. And it is within you and me that will bring about that change. Can we get out of our state of complacency? Can we move from being passive to being active? Active participation will yield results, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm encouraging you, as you move from that passive state to an active state, that you will do the following. Find time to talk to your children about this SOGI agenda. We have to sit them down. We have to tell them about it. Let them know that it is not according to God's plan. You see, our children, they're fragile. And they're like sponge. You see, if we allow them, they will absorb everything that is thrown at them. But if with guidance, with prayer, we can make the change in their lives. Find time to talk to them about the agenda. Find out about what is happening in your child's school. Know what they're being taught. Talk with your children and reaffirm with them who they are. Tell your sons, you're a boy, and nothing can change that. No feelings can change that. Tell your daughters they are a girl and nothing can change that. You know, we have to stand and start teaching from home. Listen, this is what makes you a boy. Not anatomy. Talk to them. Males have penis. Females have vagina. You cannot be a boy if you have those organs. Your sex is determined by genes and chromosomes. You know, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what SOGI is doing. They're telling you to make a pie. And you make an apple pie. And you know, in order for you to have an apple pie as the end product, apple must be in that pie. When you stir everything up and put it in that oven, all the things that would make it apple pie are in there, right? Can you imagine when the pie comes out of the oven, they're telling you this is a strawberry pie? Can't be. You can't change it at that stage to a strawberry pie. It is an apple pie. When you were born a boy. You're born a girl. Nothing can change that. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, let your children know the truth about their agenda. Let the children know the truth about who God made them. Let them know the long-term impact of the SOGI program if it is allowed to take place. If every boy and girl should feel today that I am a girl or a boy, and you don't have to get married, you don't have to get kids, then in a few years, there won't be anyone around. Huh? There won't be anyone around. I want us to understand when we're talking about God's plan. God tells us that when he said to man, be fruitful and multiply. Listen, if you cannot multiply, then something is wrong. You must be able to multiply and reproduce for future generation. And that is what we're saying. The program that is being implemented is telling our children, taking them on a natural path. We need to stop it. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to, some of us here are members of PAC group in our schools. Let us not be silent in these PAC groups. Let us be influential. Talk to community groups. Talk to your family members. Let them know what we are about. SOGI shouldn't have the right to impose any agenda on our children that we don't like. The aspect of 2 moms and 2 dads should not be imposed on our children because we know that's not right. The ability to choose your gender is not something that is right. Your choice of a gender has been determined before you come on this earth. So when you come, whatever you come with, live with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm encouraging you. Stand up. I'm encouraging you. Don't give up. Because the fight has just started. Don't get weary. You know, the Redeemed Church of God, we're located in New Westminster, and you know there's a prominent LGBTQ community there as well. But we are not deterred. We have a program coming up next weekend. It's a Get a Grip conference for teens, for youths. And we are going to be talking about sexual identity, sexual purity, by the Word of God, using the Word of God to explain that. Biblical principles on how to view sexual identity and sexual purity. A few weeks ago, we had a flyer that we put on our church premises. Somebody passing took a picture of it and sent it to the media. And I want to say here that we must be careful of the news media, because there are persons in the news media with specific agenda. Right? They called me within less than 24 hours after those posters went up. Our church office was bombarded with calls from the media. And what they want us to know is that why are we promoting hate speech? Why are we promoting hate speech? You know why they say we're promoting hate speech? Because on our the flyer, it says Get a Grip conference. And it's a teens and youth conference. And the theme of the conference is Let God Be True. LGBT. Ladies and gentlemen, the journalist who called me from the Star, she said to me, why are we using LGBT? My question to her was, is it patented? Is there a patent on the word LGBT? I said, did you read the flyer? I said, it says, let God be true. Thank you. And God is indeed truth. Our theme was inspired by Romans 3, verse 4. And it says, let God be true. Every other man, every other agenda, every other system be a liar. So we can proudly say, SOGI system, SOGI agenda is a liar. It's a lie. And ladies and gentlemen, before the day was out, I got calls from CBC, CTV, and all these people, and you'll be surprised of some of the questions that they ask. They wanted to know if the LGBTQ community member should come to our conference, would we be telling them that the lifestyle that they have chosen is right and that they should continue? I said, God forbid. I said, listen, we are having a session on sexual identity and sexual purity, and it is coming from the Word of God. What we will be teaching is the undiluted Word of God. Anybody don't like it can go. If you don't like it, just go. But ladies and gentlemen, let us not think that this is just an attack on our church. Your church, your community, once you stand up against anything of this form, they will get you, they will come after you. I was privileged last year when the Franklin Graham Crusade came to Vancouver that we were called to the mayor's office in Vancouver to say, shut this thing down. And it was being pushed by the LGBT because they said they fear violence. The question we put to them then was, on whose side will the violence come? We have to stand up, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm saying to you that what they are trying, the Anvil Center has been pressured and they have succumbed to the pressure of a few. And they have cancelled our event. And it was publicized across the news media. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, our conference will hold. Our conference will hold. And I'm encouraging you parents, if you have teens, if you have youths, send them come. Let them come, because we have to stand up and speak. We have to make a statement. You see, the LGBTQ community, you know, they use some letters from the alphabet and then they claim it. One of the things that I said to the CBC person who called me, I said, listen, can you tell me not to use CBC? Can you tell me not to? CBC is a licensed entity. I cannot use Canadian Broadcasting Corporation because that is already patented. But I am free to use any letters of the alphabet. I stand here today to say LGBT stands for Let God Be True. And God is indeed truth. God is indeed truth. The story is long. It is long, but ladies and gentlemen, we must fight this battle and we cannot give up. We will not give up. We will not relent. As I said, they are taking it, they are inching it, they are taking it one step further. They told me that the acronym LGBT coupled with rainbow colors plus Carrie Simpson equal controversy. And I said to them that I asked the question, do you know what the rainbow color signifies? That belongs to God's children. And listen, we have to be bold and we have to teach our children these things. That listen, LGBTQ is putting a mockery. They have used some words that we as normal citizens, human beings, become afraid to use nowadays because of the connotation that one may think. When we see the rainbow colors, immediately we think pride instead of thinking of God's promise that he will not destroy this earth again with a flood. When we hear of the word pride, we think homosexuality and lesbianism instead of thinking that, listen, this is something that we are proud about. When we hear of the word gay, what means happy, joyful, cheerful, we look at it from another perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to rise up. We need to take a stand. We need to stop SOGI now. Action is needed now. Action is needed now. And it will take people like you and you and you and all of us here to make it happen. God bless you.